Metro Boomin want some more, nigga.
Yeah. Hennessy and Hotwings, you tuning in. Hennessy and Hotwings, you tuning in. Just listen to Miss Hot Sauce, she doing it. I'm fucking with Miss Hot Sauce, she cute as shit. She talking about your city and what's going on. She got tips for you, shorty, how to get it on. She talking to the men and what they doing wrong. Politicking about some business, she a little sassy. Hennessy and Hotwings with some hot sauce, that's real classy. Depending on the topic, she might get nasty. Got the podcast blasting, it's a real classic. Got my Hennessy and Hotwings, let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking. Got my Hennessy and Hotwings, let's get it cracking. Got my Hennessy and Hotwings, let's get it cracking. Got my Hennessy and Hotwings, let's get it cracking. Yeah, papers, let's get it cracking.
Got my Hennessy and Hotwings, let's get it cracking.
Boom. Boo. Wait, how do I fix it?
One day we're gonna get this right. One day.
Remember I was telling you about these cheap ass headphones? They literally just hit the ground, and this is what happened. They just fell off the computer, hit the ground,
and wow,
and disintegrated.
That's Dollar Tree exclusive.
I said, my dad gave me these cheap ass headphones. It was from here. It dropped the ground. It's a very, very, very low.
And I feel like, don't you have carpet on it too?
Goddamn! Look at that.
You'd have thought you drop it off the building. My goodness!
I ran over it with my fucking car. This is why you can't push cheap shit. But let me try to fix it.
Oh,
because I'm an electrician.
Co-counsel, electrician.
Yo, each week she's got a new profession. It's lit. It's lit. Those who are tuned in, the disclaimer: we do not support or no. If you're watching this, please do not try this at home. You cannot just pick up professions just because you decided. Boom. Here's our disclaimer.
This is not how it works in the real world.
This is not how it works.
Maybe if I stick it in my ear just like so, I would either get electrocuted or...
This could make for a good show.
All right. Okay. I don't think that's a good idea. Okay. All right. Clearly, that is not the path that I was meant to take on this fine day.
I thought she was electrocute herself. Jesus.
How are you, ladies?
Good.
Jill always gives us the good.
Fuck you.
Oh, wow.
Yourself. Wow. That was a gift from my dad.
Dag. So he's trying to say your dad?
For me.
He's trying to say your dad's cheap? No, anyway.
My dad is cheap. Well, he is, but that's neither here nor there.
You're so cool. Good.
Yeah, doing good. I'm over here recovering. I'm over here in BK, Bedford Stuyvesant. Is that how they say it? Bedford Stuyvesant. I don't know. I'm gonna go do some pull-ups on a light post or something.
Oh yeah.
So I can really be BK with it, but I'm
very
out here.
Cultural.
Yeah, this not you're not in BK unless you do at least a pull-up.
Can you
on
do
a light post? Not at all, but I'm gonna try. Only on a light post.
One of the hardest exercises to ever do. I don't know how I'm expected to pull up my own body weight.
That's
clearly
stupid.
The reason why I'm in the gym is because I can't carry my body. So why the fuck would I pull it up?
Why would I pull it up? Why would I do that for sport?
I have no upper body strength.
Whenever I try to do a plank, my arms start shaking and wobbling like I've got a little Parkinson's or something. That ain't right.
I'd be trying to do alternative push-ups. Like if I do it up against the wall, standing up instead of on the ground, I can build a little bit of strength. So maybe if once I do a push-up on the ground, I won't look stupid. I'm trying to find abstract ways of doing this. Maybe.
So you guys are good. Mo, you can get on with your extrusions.
Extrusions. Because they're extra. Down below, giving you, oh my. We've got the beautifully the illustrious chocolatey Jill Badu.
Jill motherfucking Badu.
Wow. We've got
I'm here for the ad lib.
We've got theme music now. And over here, she's always giving us curls for the girls. I feel like I say this every single week. Curls for the girls. Miss Hot Sauce the Boss. Miss, hey, did you guys hear about a segment that I just made up right here on the moment?
Let's do this tonight. Yeah.
Miss Hot Sauce the Boss.
And who are you, my sweet little?
I'm a crippled over here trying to tell myself that I am no longer 25. I am full on 37. Ms. Mofilla giving you big energy.
Big energy.
Yes, sir.
And
now,
not least.
most certainly not least. Listen, the name says it all. I don't know if you guys know this one, but you're gonna get to know her. You understand me? If you don't know, you're gonna know. This beautiful spirit, beautiful on the inside and out. I can't say what some of you know her as because, quite frankly, this is going to be the first time our Hotwings are meeting her. Give it up for Satin Kiss.
Hi, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Hi.
I'm chilling.
Welcome.
I'm excited.
Yes, welcome.
I'm so excited about that. Welcome.
We're going to talk about all the things. I can't wait.
I'm fucking this shit up.
Oh, wow.
What is that, Chipotle?
Good.
You know it. What else does she
That's the only way Chipotle is supposed to be consumed.
Exactly. Fucking up.
Fuck it up. Absolutely.
Welcome to another serving of Henny and Hotwings, where we eat Chipotle and drink twisted tea. And whatever the hell it is that Mo has over there. No, that looks nice. I want some wine.
Isn't it pretty?
I had 2 glasses of wine the other night. Fucked up. Can't drink like I used to. I mean, fucked up.
Yo,
Hangover the next morning, I couldn't do it.
Something happens at 37 where a switch goes off, where it's like, yeah, all that shit y'all thought y'all could do is completely done and over with now. Sorry. Like, I thought I could be tourist and shit, like walking around Brooklyn. Like, I'm over here paralyzed from the knees down. Everything. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm going to need a day to recover. No. It's crazy.
That's what we need to talk about. Things that help to relieve our tension.
Yes.
And put more tension on our vaginas.
Sex.
Wow.
You see what I did there?
Wow. That was a smoother transition. I will say that.
Because your body is so stressed. Right. We know scientifically that sex releases the endorphins and the secretions.
Ooh, come on, co-counsel.
In order to help you seclude.
Nope. Then you lost me. That wasn't it. That was not it.
She was this close. She was.
I was like, come on, we're doing it. Like, she's getting there.
That's what they said about me the other day. Like, I get almost there and then I gotta cross the line. Instead of leaving it alone.
There was effort. We're rocking with you. It's all right.
So, Taja, the way that we usually start the show off is that we get into our personal lives. We just kind of do a little relationship check. I never start with myself. So I'll start with myself.
Good morning now.
The other day, I called Jill Badu frantically because I needed to know the time, like how close can you get to taking a Plan B pill to the end? Because you know it's best taken within 24 hours, but it can go up to 22. Like to the point where we had to calculate the time. When did you actually have sex?
When did he actually come? What time?
You got 2 hours to get that down. You know, so I had a question, and this is not about me.
Mm-hmm.
If the dude that you are dealing with wants to procreate and you do not, and then one day he shoots up the club, which is a form of sexual assault. And
technically, I feel like if it's unwanted, it is.
Yeah. So then if he is
wait. When you say he shot up the club, did he have on the condom and took it off without your knowledge? That's an assault.
That's assault. Yeah.
But if you went into it raw dogging, nigga, that's not an assault.
Because what if you consented to pulling out?
Like,
what if you consented to the pull out?
I feel like pulling out is a really good form of contraception.
No, don't.
Okay,
No,
let
no,
me
no,
drop
no,
this
no, no, no,
disclaimer
no, no.
again.
Okay.
The views
This
discussed
is,
on
this
the
is why we
show.
have guests today, so that we can hash all of this out.
The pull out
Yes,
is
we can
risky.
hash all of this.
Coitus interruptus is not a foolproof method.
No,
I
definitely
promise.
not.
No.
Never
That
not.
is how
Like-
I have my child currently. Okay.
What if you have the agreement that that's the plan and he doesn't follow through with that plan?
And then if he
Y'all gotta
doesn't
talk about
follow
this full
through,
plan.
if he doesn't follow through, that's on you to do what you need to do. Go to the pharmacy and get your little plan
Do
B.
you have
Plan B.
to tell them what
That's
you
none of his. That's none of his business. Because first of all, most
I
of the
wouldn't.
time, dudes know what your position is on procreating, right?
Mhm.
Like you know where every dude I've ever been involved with knows my position. I do not want offspring or any more offspring. So at the end of the day, like I'm not giving that kind of onus to them. That's on me. This is one place where I'm like, I know I have agency over me getting pregnant. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
will
Absolutely.
I don't care how many, $49.99s I have to pay out in order to make sure that I stay unchild. I'm
Plus
going to
tax,
do it.
maybe?
It's worth it. Huh?
No, I'm being stupid. I was like, plus tax, maybe? I don't know. Is it tax?
Maybe like 52. But no, I've taken a new adjustment on things where, like, because I am not opposed to having children, right? And I seem to run into those who absolutely are opposed to having children. I have to now be considerate of, like, maybe we shouldn't even go there because, number one, I'm not going to take on the responsibility of popping Plan B pills like fucking Skittles. Number two, I can't take birth control.
I wouldn't say Skittles, more so like a Mentos.
Okay, Mentos,
A
Altoid,
mint, an Altoid,
right,
yes.
okay, Altoid. And like, you're not gonna put that on me because you don't want kids, then you don't want to have sex with me. Period. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, see,
But those, yeah, those
um,
conversations have to happen though.
Yeah.
Sorry, what are you gonna say?
I just fully believe in coitus interruptus. I mean,
Oh,
I
God.
fully
Just pull out.
absolutely believing that. And, maybe I have the wrong train of thought, but, I'm going to learn today.
Let me go
But
take my
everything's
birth
not
control
for
pill.
everybody.
She said, speaking of which, let me
She
go
said,
take my birth
speaking of
control.
which, I was like, everything ain't for everybody. she's
No,
on
I'm
it. She's like, I don't want no more, and I mean it.
I don't want no
I ain't
smoke.
mad at that. Listen, I don't want any kids at all. Like I don't have any. I do not. No.
Really? How long have you known that you didn't want children?
I've been absolute about it for like the last 5-6 years.
Wow.
Like I just do not. Like
and you
my
don't
last
have
relationship.
You don't have any at all now.
None. No.
Oh,
I'm gonna be the cool auntie forever. Like that's just
that's
just
right.
it. Like I have I have a niece and nephews, and I'm like I love them to death. But I'm like I'm gonna treat them like they're my kids. But other than that, I'm like I don't even have the urge. I don't have like this like motherly. I mean, put it this way: when I'm around kids, I'm like, oh, I want to give them candy. I want to do stuff. I want to take them places. But then it's like, all right, go to mommy, go,
Yeah.
so I can go back
Yeah.
home and I can sleep late. And I can use my money how I want to use it and not have to be nervous all the time. So I'm like, cool. I mean, kids are great, but I just don't feel it in my spirit to have children. So
It's
I
not in
completely
my
get it.
spirit to like them.
it's not. So I'm team IUD all day. Like I was like, listen, I'm not good with the pills.
Mhm.
I tried those, didn't like how they made me feel, and I'll mess around and forget. I'm busy. I do stuff. I'll look up and be like, oh, I was supposed to take it at 3. It's 7. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I could never be on a pill birth control, because it's one of those things where I can't remember anything about myself or to do anything at any certain time. I have 3 alarm clocks just to get my kid up and out of school. Like there's one at 7:45, 8 o'clock, and 8:30. That's just to get out of bed.
That's just the starter.
And then after that, it's like take his pill and wait for the bus. Like there has to be. And sometimes I just turn it off and we miss the bus. So I'm like, how does this happen?
How am I supposed to now be responsible for that part? Like,
Exactly.
Drive to school, kids.
Now I have to be responsible for preventing pregnancy.
And I mean, I tried to go that extra safe route. I think I spoke about it on the show. I did the IUD. My body was not happy with me. I have tried the pills, body not happy with me. So it's like, yo, I have to make realistic decisions. I enjoy sex, but I have to be very selective. Like, yo, if you don't want to have kids, and it's not to say I'm trying to ride you and trap you and get you pregnant, but I don't want to have to feel guilty about having to call you 2 weeks later to be like, hey,
Hey,
I'm
check it out.
late.
Yeah.
What's up? I don't want to go through that.
How you
guilt
feeling? Daddy.
That's
Hey, Dad.
terrifying.
trip.
That is, I had that conversation early. I'm like, listen, so here's how I handle my birth control. Do you want children or not? And then they're like, and most of the time they're like either on the fence or no. And I'm like, well, let me tell you like this, I don't want them. And I have no problem with handling. I am very pro-choice.
Mhm.
So I am like, listen, if there's a slip up, I'm not gonna change my mind last minute and be like, oh yeah, I think I want a kid now. I'm very sure about this. So I talked to them about it like from the beginning. And I think, okay, I'll preface it by saying this. As a sex educator, condoms are a very useful part of your sexual health. It's good to prevent unwanted pregnancies and STIs, but I do not like them. I use
Amen.
them. I
Amen.
use them
But you don't
with
like
new
them.
partners. I
Yeah.
use them with new partners,
Mhm.
and only if I have partners that we've both been tested, shown each other, we trust each other. Cool, we have
Yeah.
a situation. I cannot stand condoms. Like they don't feel right. First of
Yeah.
all, I'm allergic to latex. So I don't mess around with the latex ones.
I feel like
So
that's
I
most
use
of us. Yeah.
yeah, they don't they don't work well with my body.
Mhm.
So I use the non-latex ones, but even then it feels so much different without it. But again, that said, I mean it still feels nice with them, but I personally prefer to not use them with a partner that I trust.
Yeah.
So, and again, with a
Partner that you trust. No, that's real.
that I've had, I'm like, listen, let's see the paperwork real quick, or somebody
Exactly.
but then at the same time, you can see the paperwork, and if it's somebody that they don't have your best interest in mind, or they don't care about their own bodies, next thing you know, a couple months later, you're like, something don't feel right when I pee. What have you been doing, sir?
What you been
What
doing?
happened?
Me,
What have you been up to? Mhm.
What's going on here?
No,
So
I am praying and fasting that I took it in enough time. And
Doing that kind of math is never fun. Like legit, I was like, okay, so you did it at 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday, that would have been 24 hours. Like that's the worst
That's
kind of
scary.
math.
That's
yeah.
scary. Yeah.
I
I
got up
don't
really
like that
early
math.
that morning because I was like, damn it, I forgot. This is how I can't take birth control. Damn it, I forgot to go get the thing. So I ran down there, the first motherfucker in the whole CVS. And let me tell you something. So I was like, oh, I got to do the plan B of shame. So I had to go up there and be like, hello, Mr. Pharmacist. Plan B. Oh, confident. He was like, we don't keep those.
It's an aisle for.
It's right in the aisle.
They don't give a damn about it
So he
anymore.
was like, so asked her to unlock it. So I went up there and I was like, hey, can you unlock the plan B? And she was like, we don't keep them locked.
just don't get it.
Okay.
Oh, so I just embarrassed myself for nothing. Oh, all right.
Okay. Have a good day, everybody, and have a good morning, and have a good day.
You never saw me. Don't worry about me.
No,
It's for a friend.
But the cameras did. People behind the cameras are like,
But no, can we talk
got
about
another
that
one.
though? That
With a walk of shame.
little walk of shame, that feeling when you
Yeah.
do have to go and, hey, can someone help me open the Plan B
I
cabinet?
don't even care. Like that's the
I
thing.
mean,
though.
it feels weird for me, and I mean, I'm pro-choice. I definitely believe every woman should have a choice, right? But me personally, my choice is I don't feel comfortable, right, aborting. I understand there are certain, circumstances and everything, so I don't knock those.
Thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I go to get Plan B, I'm like beating myself up, like, oh my God, this is the moment that, because of my dumb decisions, I'm now in the store having
But
to
that's
do
the thing, though. We can't beat ourselves up for stuff
I
like that.
swipe
Like
my
we are
card
human.
with all of the joy and pride.
that's
For condoms and everything, I'm like, yeah, I'm having sex. I'm an adult. Here, now can you swipe? Can you ring this up, please, and swipe my card? Now, matter of fact, no, I don't need a bag. I'll walk out the store like this. Like,
Exactly. I didn't get a bag. He was like, you need a bag for what? I'm just not a Jew.
I'm about to pop it right now.
Right now, you throw this away?
Yeah.
Like, fuck. The only remorse that I had about it was the fact that, I waited so long. So I was like, can I take two?
yeah.
I even found a little discounted card to get 20% off.
The only time I think I would feel shame is if like I was in a financial situation where I couldn't afford my own Plan B and I had to ask, like I would have to ask the other person, like, yo, can I hold $49.99 so I can get this Plan B?
Only 48.
You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't offer or whatever the case is, right? Like that would be the only thing I would feel shameful about.
I asked,
like,
he told me
I
no.
understand
Oh, you did ask?
Oh, that's because he's trying to have he wants you to have his baby. So of course
I
he's
did
gonna
ask.
say no.
He said he had no.
Is that pregnancy assault or something? I feel like that's assault.
Sexual
That's not
assault.
there's something we got to put a label on that.
I
That's
said
not
that to
okay.
him, and he too laughed at me. But this has been 2 years, so
It's actually not.
No,
It's actually
I'd head
not
down to
assault.
Planned Parenthood or something. But and then at the same time too, a lot of the guys that
I should
I,
go put him on the table.
I'm just like,
Hurry up.
I'd
Let
be
me
so
figure it
mad.
out.
I would be so mad though if homeboy like you giving this person your body and all this other stuff. You shared an intimate moment, and you ask him for some money for a plan B, and he's like, nah.
Yeah.
Really, sir? So I kind of okay. Let's talk this through, homeboy. Let's talk about this real quick. $50 now, or child support later. What would you like?
Some of
And let's I mean, we can do this, or at the same time, it's just like the selfishness of it.
Yeah,
I would. But see, that's the thing. I get real careful with guys, but I think going into any situation, you have to weigh the pros and cons and talk about the scenarios ahead of time. Like, all right, this is what we have agreed upon. If this happens, this is what we're gonna do. If that happens, this is what we're gonna do. But yeah, if
and they
he's
only
not
left the Plan B pills in the black neighborhoods.
Right.
they do what now?
Yeah,
Because
they only
want
block.
us to be on government assistance, and then they want us to all of the things, pro-black. Moving on about
Yes, let's go. Let's jump. Let's go.
Joe Badu.
Oh, we were doing the relationship. Wow, I thought
I didn't even know what we were doing at this point.
I know. Tangent. All right, I see how this is gonna go. I keep fluffing my throat. Sorry, guys. I'm
How
just
the
like
show goes.
I feel like it's uneven. That's
Oh,
all right.
you're good.
We're gonna get
You're
there.
good.
Word.
So last week, I shared with everyone that I lost my abstinence virginity, and why are y'all? What's funny about that? I'm so confused.
I'm so proud.
Abstinence virginity.
No, I wasn't proud. It wasn't.
Was it a bad thing?
It wasn't my proudest moment. I was very unsure of, whether or not it was the right decision in the moment and even afterwards. And then like the week that the post, virginity week that we've had
Post virginity.
Yeah, it's like I don't like the energy. I feel like the energy is different. I feel like the frequency of the communication has
What was it
significantly decreased. I mean, I went through the old messages, looked at the timestamps just for research purposes to gauge how because sometimes, you're like, yo, I feel like this nigga was always hitting me up. And then I was like, let me actually verify whether it was actually like as frequent as I thought it was, because he was persistent legit for a good month straight, just constantly like, how you doing, how's your day, WID, whatever. So
the standard shit.
Yeah, so here it is, 12 hours later, not even a WYD, and I'm like, well, damn, about a week ago, you was legit pressed. So what happened? What's up? What's happening? And then these are the times where I start to feel like a psychopath, and I have to make a choice. Like, either I'm going to not give a fuck, or I'm gonna go for the psycho, full throttle with the psycho. So I decided to just I try.
You told it the fine line?
Yeah, I was just kind of like, I just feel like there's been a shift in your energy. And of course I got the standard, like, what you talking
You're crazy.
about?
You're bugging.
I've been working. I got a jail.
This whole time you've been working, my nigga, and it hasn't been a problem. And now you're all of a sudden the busiest motherfucker in the
I gotta
world.
get close to the screen for this. Can I get close to the screen for this? Listen,
the busiest in the world.
Fellas, If y'all think at 37 years old that we are still falling for this, I got a fucking job shit. We all got fucking jobs out here. You understand me? But don't hit me with that when your energy shifts. If you're on the job, boo loving, texting me all day fucking long, don't switch that energy afterwards and then try to say, oh, it's because I'm working and I'm fucking being unreasonable. You listen, I felt you on that one, Jill.
That's
I felt
trash.
you.
Yeah,
I'm sorry
yeah.
that happened.
It was wild trash. And so I definitely don't like, now I'm at the place where I don't even care if you hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like I never want to see you again. I hate you. You're dead to me. So
Wow.
it escalates rather quick.
Pretty final. That's pretty final.
It does.
Yeah.
And I know that about myself. And this was part of the reason why I was so kind of like uncertain about whether or not it was the right decision. Because I feel like leading up to it, dudes will put in that work, right?
Hell
But
yeah,
then
they
like
will.
once they get what it is that they were seeking, it's like that's when you know what the real intentions were. Like what was it that you wanted from my life? Oh, okay, that was that.
You got it. Congratulations.
I never like that. I'm sorry that happened to you because that's
I'm
trash as hell.
not. That's my fault. It's on me.
I mean,
that you can
it's not
take
a matter of blame.
No, it's not even blame. It's more about taking responsibility for piss poor decision making, right? Like this, going into it, and I think maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I spoke about this gentleman who was, you know, trying to make a comeback, and we like this is like our 3rd or 4th rodeo, right? So at this point, it's kind of like
this is why.
Silly me for having such a piss poor memory that I couldn't remember why, you know, we've done this so many times and it never goes anywhere, right? Because of like, I know that consistency is a need of mine, right? And so knowing that that's a need of mine, and if I didn't get it in the past, like, why do I keep going back to the same situation thinking that I'm gonna get it this time?
But
Like,
the good thing is, now you know for a fact that you hate him and that you won't make the mistake anymore. And now you have support.
I was going to say, now we're official witnesses to this. So if you ever resurfaces and you can't remember, we are here to remind you.
We're going to be like, fuck that.
No. Not him. No. Another one, please.
Mo, I'll save you till last.
Oh, I think.
Taja, how about you? Relationship status?
Single and dating.
Ooh, single as fuck.
Sounds fun.
Single as fucking. What is dating to you, though? Because I feel like a lot of people have different ideas of what dating is.
Well, men take me out to nice places and we do stuff and possibly have sex if we like each other. But I'm also polyamorous too, so like I can be in multiple different situations at a time. But generally just, you know, getting to know people, establishing a connection, and if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere. And we decide from there, like, what kind of relationship or connection we want it to be. Do we want it to be something where it's like, okay, we're monogamous? If it feels right, all right, cool. Could it be a primary partner and I have other partners and they have other partners? I've done that before. How are we interacting with each other? Is it a once a week thing? Are we texting all the time? Do we have regular communication throughout the day? But in any situation, it has to be one where there's mutual respect and open communication, and I'm treated well. Like there are just certain standards that I have, and I'm like, all right, cool. As long as you're meeting that, then great.
Do you have a great dating life? Like, do you feel like it's great, or do you run into situations like these new age people who don't want to do anything, don't want to take you out, don't want to
have temper tantrums because they get scuffs on their
bumpers? Don't want to spend $250 on an ice cream cone like those people? No. She's like, absolutely not.
She's got a good filter. Okay. How do we get the good filter?
Okay. First of all, I do a lot of online dating. So it's that. And so the trick for me with why I feel like it's easier for online dating is like, I can figure them out ahead of time. So they give me enough details for them to be like, okay, this is the kind of person that you are based on the kind of pictures you put up, what kind of content you put in your profile, what kind of job you have. All the information I need is right there. And sometimes when they give me certain pieces of information, I can look them up and see if they're legit. Then on top of that, it's like, okay, I can filter through. So out of all of the different people who will hit me up, I can say, okay, I'm going to talk to you, you, or you. Now, let's say if I get like 10 messages in one day. Based on certain things that I put in my profile, certain little keywords, if they've read and understood my profile, they'll use that keyword. If they haven't used that keyword, I won't answer.
Really?
And this all, yeah.
You got this shit down to a science.
I know. I'm like learning here.
Me too. I'm like, ooh.
Get the notes.
And I put everything, for example, like on my Plenty of Fish rig, like that one allows me to write a lot more. But I put all my standards in there down to dick size. I'm like, listen, this is what I like. Yeah. And either men respect it or they don't. But there are a lot. I put like a bunch of fair warnings, and these are all things where I'm like, listen, I've had to put this stuff here because some of y'all don't know how to act right and you don't approach me properly. So before you reach out to me, you better know how to read. Better have good reading comprehension, because if you get through this and you don't answer it right, that lets me know you didn't read it. Either you skimmed it or you didn't read it properly, or you're not there.
Fascinating. Everybody watching right now, make sure you share the episode. Make sure you share it everywhere.
And I legit help my clients do this.
So we don't usually ever get into people's business,
but we getting into
but your business is awesome.
It's right up our alley.
Exactly. Tell us exactly what you do. Give us your elevator pitch that I know you've been doing for the last fucking 3 months.
I know. It's been like almost 2 years now at this point. I just like polish it up. Anyway, so my business is Satin Kiss, and I help people lead healthy, happy sex lives. Ooh. So Satin Kiss is an elevated shopping and education experience, and we're focused on body safety, empowerment, diversity, and it's backed by certification by the Center for Sexual Pleasure and Health. So there's an online platform, there's an online store where we sell body safe sexual health and pleasure products. I do one-on-one couples coaching and consulting around, relationships and sexual practices and the products that they want, even doing like guided shopping experiences. I do workshops, I do parties, but the parties are a little different. I don't just like show up, no disrespect, but like Mary Kay style, and it's like, all right, here's what I got, you buy it or you don't. I do a survey ahead of time, and I'm like, all right, what kind of products do you want to see? And what questions do you have? And we get together and we dish. We talk about all the things. We pass the products around. We talk about things. I've done co-ed parties before. It could be all women, all men, LGBTQIA friendly. No matter what your gender identity is or your sexual identity, it's like, no. Everybody's gonna have access to this, especially women and people of color who have been left out of the retail experience and the conversation about sexual health and pleasure. So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and destigmatize this stuff and make sure that we are all living our best sex lives. So that is what I do in a nutshell.
Honey,
live my best sex life. Help me.
I mean, absolutely. Like that is awesome. I am actually really excited to hear that. And this is a great platform to teach us about sexual health and pleasure, because clearly I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah. Pull out game.
Pull out. Listen,
terrible.
Pull
terrible,
out
terrible.
is
Okay. So, all right. So we will get back into that after we find out what Mo has been going on.
Oh shit! I thought I'd gotten off the hook with this.
I know we didn't start doing all kinds of.
I don't even have anything juicy for you guys.
You don't have to.
I'm still single and dating. Actually, I'm out here on the same page as Taja. Just gearing up for summer 2021 to be
outside.
I'm trying to be outside. So no, anybody that's trying to come and lock me down, the time frame is over. You had your chance. The sun is out. I'm no longer interested.
Not today,
in being
though. Not today.
down.
It actually snowed today.
I know. Well, over here, at least the sun was out. In Brooklyn.
Shit.
The sun was out in Brooklyn. So.
I love Brooklyn. I've been there like over here.
So crazy. So let's
so
just get. Well, Mo, I thought you'd have something a little bit more juicy.
Sorry, I ain't got shit. I ain't got shit for you.
We'll just get right into it. So I always wondered, and I'm glad this was a question. If you use sex toys too many times or too often, does it desensitize you?
It doesn't desensitize you. I mean, just like with anything else, you can get used to it. So if you think about exercise, for example, you can hit a plateau where, if you're doing the same kind of exercise over and over and over again, or, you kind of reach the max with a certain strength of toys, certain weight, then it's kind of the same thing with sex toys, because it's all, muscles and nerves and things like that. So giving it a break or sometimes maybe trying like the next level up can kind of help you out. Or just starting out the toys from, instead of cranking them up really high at the first use of them, just like work your way up. So for example, like with certain clit stimulators, like that, when I tell people, don't just hit level, because there are like, I think 10 or 11 modes on one of them. And I'm like, don't start out on 11, you'll pass out. Like work your way. It's like, let your body get you'll feel light, you'll pass out and you'll wake up in a puddle and it's nothing. Yeah, I can't help you from it. But it's, it's a gradual thing. And then, just pacing yourself. Like you don't have to use it 5 times a day, maybe like a few times a day, a couple, like maybe 3 times, and then space it out. Maybe the next day you skip it, but it's not like it's going to desensitize you to the point where
I'm sorry. Did you say a whole 24 hours without doing it?
That's possible? You feel like,
what do you mean? You never gone a whole 24 hours without?
It is possible, but I'm team you here, all right?
Oh, okay. I'm feeling judged. I'm feeling a bit judged.
There is nothing wrong with a daily orgasm. As a matter of fact, it's good for your immune system. It's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
Okay. Keep going.
There are multiple ways to reach orgasm too. You can have a nipple orgasm. I
get those. I definitely get those. I get those, child.
So you can switch it around. If you've done more clit stimulation and you feel like you're a little sensitive from that, give yourself a break and go to G-spot stimulation. Go to nipple stimulation. Find something somewhere else, and you're like, all right, cool. That's why it's good to explore your body. Figure out what it is that you like.
Mm-hmm. I like it. I like this conversation.
I like what are ways to introduce, like if you are not a serial masturbator?
I feel judged.
I don't want to do that. I don't want. I swear.
Like it's a crime.
If you are a
frequent. Here we go.
Frequent masturbator.
The bed's a crime scene now.
I got mugshots now for my masturbation.
Got caution tape.
Oh, I think that would be so dope if you had mugshots from your orgasm. Like if every time you was about to go or about to bust, then you can take a snapshot at that time, and then you can see your sex face. How cool would that be? You wouldn't want to see that?
Idea.
I don't know if I want to see my sex face.
You don't?
Because I feel like then I'm going to be in my head about it. You know what I mean? Like now I got to analyze, is my sex face all right? So when it comes to that moment, I'll be like, oh, am I making that face again?
Nobody comes cute. So I would
that I have a
ugly
beautiful
face. I would want to know, like, how does that, what am I feeling? Like, what's the emotion? I know
it. Mine is actually beautiful. I don't know if because
but your partner can like it. Yeah, I mean, your partner can like it the same way some people
like your sex. No, like a picture of your sex face or your actual sex face.
Like I've been told, like my sex face, like in the midst of when we're doing it, while I'm coming, they're like, "Oh my god, that looks so beautiful." And I'm like, "Oh, my."
Well, it absolutely can.
Think it looks like everybody do it. What do you think?
It depends on.
What do you think yours looks like? Come on, Taja, think about it.
Oh,
listen.
Whoa, whoa, Jill.
It depends on who's doing it,
dude.
If it's me, it's more intense. But if it's somebody else,
let me see yours. If it was you, try to do it. You would laugh.
Low key. Oh. It's low key exorcist like. It's just the eyes roll back. Yeah.
What?
And there was. I will say. There have been a couple of times. I know myself. That's what it is. I know how to reach my absolute peak. But there are some people where I didn't close my eyes because I was shocked because they did something and I was like, how'd you do that? Do it again. Wait, how did you make my body do that? And so I don't even remember what face that was. It was just the eyes opened up.
Like this.
I was like looking down like,
oh my, like
what is happening here?
I feel like I've had some of those moments where I was just like, oh my god.
Wow, guys, I've literally Sometimes I get to a point where I become a cheerleader. Like when they do hit something that I've never
Like
experienced
protein
before,
juice?
I'd be like, "Oh, you better get it!" Oh,
I see you.
Protein.
you better work.
Okay, friend.
I love it. They're all proud of themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. They make you feel like they can conquer the world. They strut different. At work, handling stress better.
Mm.
I love
What
it.
about the ego boost?
Yeah, I mean that stuff like that is kind of cool, you know. Like I would just want to know. Like I'm mad nosy. I want to see everything. Like sometimes I look down at the actual act happening.
That's the best.
That's amazing.
You know, like look at this.
You gotta watch it going in and out. Like that's
Ah,
you
Yeah.
gotta watch the head. You gotta watch the everything. The sounds, the
Oh,
sights.
wow.
You gotta look at it.
Your belly goes. I see. You know, like wow, what's my belly doing? Like what are we? Yo, like wow.
no, I do be the same way. I think it was weird for me because as I got older, I became more because let's talk about it. Like when you're younger having sex, you're like eyes closed and I gotta make these noises. Oh, I gotta be cute. But like when you get older, you're more like, wow, I want to see what the fuck's going on here. Like what's really happening. So like I become magically
Delicious.
flexible. That too.
I'm gonna okay.
That too.
See.
But I become automatically magically flexible because now I want to see more. So my legs is going back more so I can see how it looks while it's going inside.
You do gotta admit that your leg be getting tired though. Like I be like, oh, tap out and put this down.
I've actually mastered a way to hold my own legs. Guys appreciate me. They appreciate me.
Really? I
Yeah.
know. I'm lazy as fuck. I got to put that leg down, honey.
Grab your straps.
It's hurting me. We got
Oh, the straps, right?
Yeah.
oh, how do you come on?
The ankle joints. You teach us, Satin, teach us.
Look, oh yeah, like you get the like there are different straps you can use for. Okay, so there are straps that he, whomever can use to like put around your waist to hold you up for back shots. Or there are straps where like they can hold the straps and hold your legs up over your head, so you're not even doing that much work. Or you can put the strap like around, so it'll go like around your ankles or whatever, right? And then it'll go back. Your legs will be back here, and you can put the top part of the strap on the headboard. You know what I mean? Or like on the post on the side. So it's just doing all the work for you. So your legs are just back here, and ain't nobody got to touch anything. You just post it up.
Come on. 2021 sex with assistance.
Okay, that's
Take that note, Jill. Write that down. Yeah, write that down.
You know what? I'm going to do a video on
the
that.
straps.
I'm going to do a demo. Yes, get
the straps, please.
That's a video on that one. Cool.
Okay, no, that's cool. How would you introduce it? Like if you have a partner now that may not be interested, you know, pride and blah blah. There are still some of them out there.
Yes.
Even though I know that y'all have met all of the all of the ones who are more explorative.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't yet.
That you know
So
of.
yeah, like how do you? What'd you say?
That you know
that
of.
you know of.
So you think that somebody might be hiding in the rough?
Let me and Jill get a hold of them.
I still don't want to do the things that we do, that we talk about so frequently on this show. I still don't want to do all that.
Let me and Jill get a hold of them and we'll find out.
When and how do you introduce sex toys into that situation?
There's really no like right or wrong time. I mean, it's like the way that I think about sex toys, they're like any other toy, right? Like, so when you're a kid and you have toys, right? There's no right or wrong time to say, hey, you want to play with this toy with me? Because it's something that you like and it's nothing that you're upset about. It's like, this is a thing I enjoy. I like, do you want to play with me? And they might say no thanks. And you're like, okay, fine. But you can still play with it. And guess what? There's probably somebody else that's going to want to play with it too. You just got to find those people. But trust me, there are people that are into the same thing that you're into. You just got to be open to it.
Yeah. There are a lot of people that are threatened by toys, though. It's so sad. I remember I used to have to hide my toy usage.
Especially probably like West Indians, probably.
Not even my ex-wife. Like, I used to have to hide the fact that I would masturbate because she would feel like I was almost cheating on her. when I was
not.
masturbating.
Wait, what?
You
But
heard
it's
me.
not though. Like your body, you own your own body. Like you don't
It was
owe
in an emotional
anybody your
abusive
pleasure.
relationship. No, so I'm kidding.
Like that's the thing. Some people are so like threatened by masturbation and toys and
Like,
stuff. I'm like, that's what enhances the situation. Like
full on
you shouldn't
argument.
have to wait for somebody to feel pleasure. Like that's
Exactly.
not what it's for.
And my thing
So-
is, you should be happy that your person or whoever it is that does masturbate is so in tune with themselves that they know how to get there.
Right.
You don't have to question.
Absolutely.
There's no guess. Take the
There's
guess.
no guessing. We know how to get there. We're good.
And they can teach you. Exactly.
In unison.
Oh, look at y'all over here. Shit.
I done found another tribe. I love this.
Jill, you've been very quiet. How have you been able to introduce sex toys into the bedroom?
She slaps people. Oh, sorry.
Tasha just happened to be drinking some tea at that moment.
I'm
That's
sorry.
right.
Very,
That's
very
hard cider. I love hard cider.
apple cider vinegar.
No, hard cider.
Oh, hard cider. I was like, what the hell? I'm drinking hard iced tea.
Oh, it's twisted.
Those are good.
Twisted tea.
Ooh.
Mhm.
I did a study on this. And I
and you got a case?
yeah, it was $120, bitch.
Nice.
What? Ah.
Sip your $120 worth.
Okay.
That's for me to be a little guinea pig. You know, I'm out here. I'm racking up the money.
Taking vaccines,
Sponsorship.
drinking twisted tea.
Yeah, right. Drinking study tea. You know, like
Y'all get vaccinated yet?
I am fully vaccinated.
Yay. I
Congratulations.
just got my one I got the first one Monday. I get another one in like 2 weeks or something like that.
When did you get?
Pfizer.
Oh, I had the Moderna. Almost took me out.
Same.
Oh no. My arm is
Y'all
hurt.
both
It
get on
did
my
take
nerves.
me out.
Y'all
It
both
did
get
take
on my
me out.
nerves.
Yeah,
John,
I
what do you want?
mean, so I guess for me and toys, usually it depends. It depends on the partner. But most of the time, like if I'm having a hard time getting there, then I'll just say, hey, use the toy and I'll whip it out. So that's usually how I bring it up.
They don't feel a type of way with that, Jill? Because I feel like that presentation would make me feel a type of way. Like, I'm not able to get there. Let me pull out this toy.
Well, because usually it's like.
Would you do it just like that?
What?
Like just whip it out?
Not getting the job done. Let me go get this toy real quick.
You're not getting the job done, but it's more just kind of like, I'm over this whole thing. So like, let's just get me to where I need to go and call it a day. Like, I don't.
You might as well tell him.
Huh?
At that point, are you frustrated? Or are you still in the mood?
I'm over this whole
I'm not frustrated, but it's more just kind of like, because sex for me, I say this all the time, like it's literally probably like 98% emotional, right? And so if I'm not in the right like mental headspace, I know I'm not going to get there by anything that you're doing. And so if I see that, like you're putting in the work and it's really, really, I know it's not going to happen, then for me, I feel like I'm taking you, it feels like a mercy like act, right? Like, let me take you out of your misery. Let's whip out this toy. I know it'll get me there. And it doesn't matter how I'm feeling. It'll do what it's supposed to do.
And this is even after you've given them instructions of like, do it this way?
It depends because like, again, if I'm not in the right mental headspace,
you don't even feel like
it doesn't matter
It's
what
just,
you're doing. You could
see.
be doing backflips in my pussy and it's still yeah. It's dumb.
Wow.
So dumb.
I saw that in my head and it was very, intense, the backflip
All right, I have to go off subject just a little bit because it just made me think of something.
Go ahead.
Okay, speaking of backflips in the vagina, right? This is a real transition.
I get you.
And one of my experiences in the past, I had a guy turn around where his legs was where my head was.
Yeah.
And his head was where my feet were. But still hitting missionary? Do you call that missionary?
That's not
Reverse
missionary.
missionary? What do you call that?
I don't remember what that position is, but I know it very
That's
well.
more like
It
like
felt like
talking about.
backflips in the
starfish.
vagina. That's why it felt like backflips in the vagina because he was doing like this wave motion. Shout out to him. But that
Yes.
just made me think about that. Sorry.
All right, go guys.
Yeah,
I love that.
Was it? How did it feel? Was it a weird?
It
Like,
was.
what did it feel?
This is one of those moments where I had to keep my eyes open and was like, well, he better go to work because, like, you see the action and the work that he's putting in. And I'm like, how is he? And then he's still in there and he's going to, and go you. Like, I'm just very proud of the work.
I don't know. I don't need you doing too much in the pussy. You know what? Like, all that acrobatic shit, like, why are you doing all that? Why are you?
There was one dude that showed up, like he hit me with the one hander, like I'm gonna put my feet up here and then just do one hand.
It'd
And
be
I'm
like,
all
it'd
right.
be like 15 positions and 15 positions per 2 humps. Like,
Relax.
in here, like, what are we doing? What's happening?
I'm out of shape.
He's like, I'm trying to put on a show.
They do all of that stuff. So I've figured it out. I've literally figured it out. Men fuck just so we can come and talk to our friends about whether they were good or bad. So if they're good, they're pretty much trying to impress our friends when they're fucking us. That's literally what's happening. So they're trying to do all these flips and things so that we get done with them and then get on the phone with our homegirls and be like, girl, guess what he did? And then they got the word of mouth.
Fire quickly because no.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm bragging to my, like, girl,
Exactly. I'm not calling my
most in here. Like, that's crazy.
They might get a quick shout out in the group chat, but that's all that's happening. Like, yeah, dude, last week was great. All right, cool. I ain't gonna tell them.
Because when you're good, it's not necessarily the acrobatics. There's so much more to it. There's so much more to it.
But that's them fools. But what if their partner is reluctant to try anything? Then you just do it yourself. You get it done, and then they'd probably like to see you doing that anyways. So I get it.
Possibly. I mean, like, there's ways to talk about it. Like, I mean, like what I usually advise clients is like, okay, if one person wants to try something and the other one doesn't, then it's like, okay, you don't have to push too much, but it's good to have a conversation of, you know, what they are or are not into, like what's the apprehension behind it. Usually I have couples fill out a sex assessment, but separately. So you have like it allows them to take inventory of what they're into and why, and then they come back together and then they can talk about it. So
what's some of the questions on the assessment?
Just basic. So it's like, so on like a scale of 1 to 5, like how comfortable are you with anal? Are you into, even down to contraception and stuff, like what contraception do you want to use? How do you feel about pulling out? All the basic questions that you want to ask someone even if you want to take inventory of yourself, like what do I like? You know, how do I identify as far as, you know, what's my gender identity? How do I feel about that? How do I feel about foreplay? How do I feel about oral? How do I feel about being touched? Like different things like that you have to take into consideration when you're pleasuring yourself or experiencing pleasure with somebody else and having an intimate relationship with somebody. So you take and you can even add questions on. I tell people all the time, I'm like, listen, if you see something that's missing, add that in there, turn it over, write notes. Like, it's about you doing that deep exploration. And then you take that and, you know, talk to your partner, you know, say like, hey, this is what I discovered about mine, if you're comfortable with it. And then they do the same thing. And it's like, oh, snap. So you're into this, I'm into that. You know, there's a product, there's a toy, or there's a position or a practice, whatever, where we can make that happen. And if they get stuck somewhere, they come back to me, we set up a session and we're like, all right, let's dive into this. How are we going to do it? So it's really a matter of figuring out what the apprehension is. Like some people don't want to use sex toys because they think, oh, well, if she starts using sex toys, it's going to replace me. It's like, no, that's not what it is. It's enhancing the situation.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's like the difference between having a vanilla cake and adding maybe strawberry flavoring into it. Strawberry flavoring. So it's like, okay, you can have your vanilla cake, cool, but then it's like, let's have strawberry cake one day. That's really it. Like, it's really just switching things up. It's not like she's gonna say like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and
now I can only have strawberry cake. I can only have strawberries. Like that's it.
Right. That's really not it. Or people will be like, oh yeah, that it's like, oh, it's not, it doesn't feel like the real thing. It's like, it's not meant to feel like the real thing.
Yeah.
It's just something you add into a situation that makes it more fun. Like there are certain sensations that you might want to introduce sometimes at the same time. And it's like, well, realistically, I only have one of these parts.
Yeah. Or
So,
two
like,
hands.
right.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, if somebody wants to do double penetration, if a guy only has, or a person only has one penis, he can use his one penis in the vagina and put the extender on and put to do anal at the same time. That's an amazing situation.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. It's like if she wants to experience both orgasms at the same time, like anally and vaginally, great. That doesn't mean that, you know, she's, oh man, she only wants somebody with two penises. No, some people do have two penises. I've seen it. It's crazy. Like there's a guy in the world somewhere that has two penises and they both work. It's really interesting. Yeah, but but it's not like she's gonna go and be like, let me just go find a person with two penises now. No, that's not how it works.
That's just an extra little spice to the moment. That's it.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
So it's really about communicating and finding out what is the apprehension. Like, why don't you want to use the product, like the toys, or you know, without prying or without judging. And I think that's the biggest thing too, is like making sure that there's no judgment between either partners when you're trying anything new.
Oh, and can we take it on another end? Because I just realized how toys can be beneficial for me, especially because I think we talk a lot about how women can benefit from toys, but there's also a lot of toys out there specifically for men parts. And I know for me, like I struggle with the hand-mouth coordination. Like it's a lot, a lot going on, especially when you have somebody that needs stimulation in multiple places. I'd be like, wait a minute, it's too fucking much. So like, hearing you say that, having certain toys to help with certain stimulations while I'm trying to do something over here might help out. That actually might help.
What's the most popular ones for men besides a cock ring or something?
Anal plugs, and they won't say it.
We're gonna get into that too. Ooh. Because
we love that here.
I really wish that men would get over the fear of prostate stimulation. It can be stimulated externally. It can be stimulated internally, but that is their official G spot.
Yeah.
Technically called the P spot. All of the nerves, all the orgasm nerves, I call them, all the sexual innervative nerves meet right there. Same thing with the G spot in a vagina. The pudendal, the pelvic, and the hypogastric nerve all meet right there. So the most explosive part of your orgasm is going to be centered there. It's also good for prostate health in general. Getting those, it's almost like a lymphatic drainage. Just like you know, get stimulated every now and then. Get the fluids going.
So I want to make sure this is the right motion when you're in there. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Yep. So it can, so you can do, it can be a swirling, it can be a finger thing.
Come here type. Okay.
Yep, like the come hither kind of thing. Yeah. And it really, or you sometimes if you just say like you can use two, and it's like a nice pressing motion too. So so it can be stimulated externally. So
that gooch. That gooch.
Right. But so that space in between the scrotum and the anus. If you feel in there, there's like a part that feels kind of bulbous, a little like above the anus, right? You press on that, or even take one of your vibrators. Don't put it in there. Take one of your vibrators and press it on there to change his whole life. And men don't
his whole life.
They listen.
Really? They will make a noise.
Whole other person. Yeah, they be like, ooh, that's when the little bitch might slip out. I hate to call them a bitch, but because that emasculates them, and I don't want them to feel emasculated. But it does create another sound that we have never heard before.
And it's another feeling. It's another orgasm that they've never felt before. And it's like after I've introduced some men to it, they're like, I've never felt. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's a different level of orgasm that you didn't know you could reach, and now you've reached it. Congratulations. And then next thing you know, like, can you do that thing again? I'm like, absolutely. Whoa. It's one of my favorite things to do. Let's go ahead.
Then they're shooting it up on you.
And as I said, there are so many ways to do it. So you can use vibration. You can use your finger. I usually use a glove. Especially because I have nails and because the tissues in the anus are like already so sensitive. I'll usually use that. Definitely use lube every single time. And just like is a way that you do it where it's like you just pretty much because the sphincter muscles in the anus like are already open up naturally. involuntarily. So you just kind of lean it against there and just let it open on its own gently. It's like you can first do like nice massaging, like take the lube and do some nice massaging of like the outer part of the anus,
in her
and then
fucking glory today, boy.
I'm learning.
and then you can take the finger, right? And then and if you have nails, you put like cotton in at the end of the on the inside of the glove, like at the end where your fingertip is gonna be, and then just lean it a light pressure right against the opening of the anus, and it'll slowly do its own thing and go in there. And then once it's in there, it'll be like a couple knuckles in, and you just kind of curve it in there, and it feels kind of like, you know how like a walnut is kind of ridgy? It feels like that. It's like a soft version of that. So that's when you know when you hit that sweet spot. Yep. So it's like, and it'll feel spongy almost, like the same way that the G spot is.
Exactly.
But it'll
the
be
G-spot feels like that.
right. So it'll be kind of spongy, and it'll be like lumped a little bit. That's when you know you got it. And then you also know you got it when the toes start curling. They start doing the thing with their eye, like, wait a minute. they start making that moan happen. But that's the thing. Like, so many men are like, no, I ain't trying that. I'm like, all right, go ahead and miss out.
You're missing out. That's a whole nother
out.
level of pleasure. A whole nother level.
It really is. But there's that. There are cock rings that where they vibrate at the base of the penis, but then they can stimulate you if you have a clitoris. It's like if you turn it that certain way, it can stimulate his penis and the clitoris. But then if you turn it around the other way, it can stimulate the base of his penis and the prostate at the same time, right? And the scrotum too, right? So it really depends on what you're trying to do, but there are so many different ways to do it. And again, any vibrator that you have, you can stimulate the prostate externally. It doesn't have to. It's not a huge deal. But if you do put anything in the butt, no matter who you are, it has to have a base. Like it has to have something flat that's not going to go in there. Like it's wide enough where it's going to stop it, because it'll mess around and gone. Because that's what it does. Like it sucks things in. And the next thing you know, you got a vibrator sitting in there, and you're just in the ER feeling like, all right, I'm gonna have to tell this doctor what we're doing.
You have the ER.
Yeah, just in the ER, just sitting there uncomfortable. Like, or maybe not uncomfortable, just sitting there like, yeah. And doctors they're like, okay, let's take you
fucked up. Imagine that.
They're like, all right, Sam, let's go take you an observation. You're like, wait, not yet. Another one.
Wait, 1 second. Right, wait, 1 second.
But yeah, like you don't want to have to go and have them go in there and open you up, and it's never fun, because sometimes they get mess around and get too far in there. They can't get it with the clamps or whatever it is, and they're like, we're gonna have to open you.
And then you'll never get him to do it again. Like,
oh my god,
after that, he's traumatized.
Yeah.
Unless the pleasure was still good, he'll be like, all right,
let's try it
again. Men I find sometimes are very adventurous when it comes to injuries. There's like, they'll walk around with a broken leg for a week and be like, oh, it's fine. So, if it's something that they really want, especially when it comes to their orgasms, their nuts, they'll be like, last time I had to get surgery, but so what? We'll just know what to do.
Anything for the nut. Anything for the nut.
Anything. Everything. If you think about it, everything that a man does, or everything most people do, is eventually to get sex. They earn a lot of money so that they can attract their partners and prove that they're providers, so they can procreate, which essentially is sex. That's really all it is. It all comes down to that. They spend so much time.
Thinking guys just want me for sex, and making them feel bad for it. Merely they're just being men. I don't.
But you know what though? Like everybody is though. Every instinct that we have, everything down to our fashion statement. It's like, we express ourselves through our clothes and everything like that, but everything that we do is a mating dance. Like, look at dating, like going out on a date. It's like, okay, he's paying for the date, which means he can afford to provide. Okay, great. He's being chivalrous. He's proving that he wants to care for me. Okay, little things like that. It's like you're looking at how a person presents, everything down to their cologne. That's their thing where that's attracting us. And we're like, ooh, oh, that's nice. This person smells clean. I'm not going to get an infection from them. This is great. So,
no STI for you.
Or even like men, they're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, I'm a breast guy, I'm an ass guy. What that's really telling their body is that, would you look at those childbearing hips, and wow, those breasts produce a lot of milk potentially. That's what their inner, that's what their carnal basic self is saying, but on the outside they're like, ooh, titties.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's really what anything that we're attracted to, it usually goes down to like our basic carnal desires to make sure that we're connecting with the kind of mate that would be the best for us. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, there are ways to hack it. And so that's one of the fun ways about dating, where it's like, okay, I see why you're into X, Y, and Z.
I know more about you than you know about yourself at this point.
How do you guys feel about having an audience during sex?
I want to try. I haven't had it yet, but I would like to try it.
In front of like how many people?
I don't know if I could do like an audience. Like, I'm not gonna get on stage and be like, hello everyone and welcome to the show. No. But if I could go to a sex club and have sex in the open there in front of people, I'd be with that shit. I'd be with it.
I don't think I'm super open to. I love watching. I'm a total voyeur. I mean, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, if Taja would let me, I literally would just sit there and just watch shit. Like, oh, this is what you do with your little clients? Okay.
They're different clients now. So okay, with the Satin Kiss clients, I don't do anything intimate with them. I just tell them what to do. I just like, okay, here's this.
Right. No, I want to watch what they do. I want to watch.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I'm not in the room with them. People ask me all the time. They're like, "So, what do you watch?" I'm like, "No, I don't watch. Like, I just tell them what to do. Like, I'm a sex educator. Like, I'm
them through it in the moment. You know.
I mean,
I tell them you should offer that hands-on services.
I mean,
I can be your understudy for that part.
I mean, listen, I'm not opposed to it. That's the thing. I'm not opposed to it. If somebody wanted me to sit in on a session and they weren't trying to be like weird about it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's coach you through this. I have no
I'll
problem
be weird
with
about it. I'll be so weird.
I would honestly, if somebody requested it, I'd have no problem with it.
Jill, how would you be weird about it?
I mean, you see my face when she's talking about, stimulating the gooch. I'm like,
yeah.
oh no. Wait. Don't let it go.
I can see Jill doing all of that.
I would make it weird. You know what I'm saying? Like mid-act, they catch my face like, ma'am, could you, like, serious?
Can you step back at least 6 feet?
I just got her teeth.
Jill's face all in the middle, like, what are you guys what's happening here?
Yeah, like, it would just be the clients. It wouldn't be an audience. But like, I would absolutely, if a client was like, hey, not to be, we're not trying to like get off on you being there, but we would really like for you to like watch a session and coach us through it. I'm like, all right, fine, cool, good, we can do that. Make sure our COVID things and precautions are in place, and
offer that virtually so it doesn't feel as weird.
I do. That's what I'm saying. I do offer virtual. I do virtual sessions too. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I will pretty much do anything within reason that won't get me arrested. That will help people to get to where they need to go. There's another aspect of things that I do not through my business, but I am they would classify it as dominatrix, but I'm a dom, so I do that's separate from
stop there. Don't just skivvy over that.
Jill's a dominatrix too.
Because that was one of our upcoming questions about bondage and stuff. Go downstairs.
Yeah, they'll need to be in for this conversation.
But yes, tell me everything about this dom business here, because all that we know so far is what Jill Badu has said to us, and she has made us all feel a little bit dominatrixy. So, what's your experience? Tell us, what is your thing? Tell us everything. What kind?
Thing? What kind? I'm more of like, my dom style is somewhat nurturing, but take no shit. So I am the type where it's like, okay, if somebody, first of all, I don't have sex with my clients. Like, I don't allow penetration or anything like that. They're not on my level to allow that in the first place. Like, I have sex with people I like. My submissives, they're of service to me. They're beneath me. They don't get the privilege to have penetration, to have sex with me. They just do the things I want them to do. Now, of course, going into the situation, we have conversations like human beings. It's like, okay, what are your fetishes and limits? Your kinks, fetishes, and limits. If they can't identify those things and articulate them properly, I will not work with them, because they need to be able to say that and know how to go in and out of that space and know how to communicate. Otherwise, I'm like, I'm not here to get myself into some situation, because it's all about consent. You give
teachable moment. What's the difference between sex, kinks, fetishes, and what's the thing?
Limits. Yeah.
Yes. Tell us those things, like examples of them.
So kinks are things that are like sexual, but they're outside of what's considered vanilla. So the things where it's like, your regular missionary, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cute. But there are things like, the things that come along the spectrum of BDSM, like impact play, choking, yeah, all that fun stuff. And then you have fetishes, which are things that are not sexual, but they're made sexual. So fetishes for things like, some people have a balloon fetish, some people have a foot fetish. There's nothing sexual about any of those things, but
I've seen the stuffed animal fetish. I've seen that one.
Yeah, the stuffed animal fetish. Like, there's a fetish for everything. You can be attracted to.
What the hell is a stuffed animal fetish?
People, I forgot the name of. They're called stuffies or something. No, I forgot what they're called.
Are you thinking Are you thinking furries?
Yeah, I think it is furries.
Furries, like the people with the furry costumes and whatnot.
There's those, and then there's also those that have
people that are with the stuffed animals.
The stuffed animals,
yeah. So it's really all sex is psychological.
You writing
honestly.
that down, Joe?
Listen, take all the notes, Joe. Take all the notes. Learn. Take it in.
Plushies, plushies or something like whatever. Somebody put it up there. Shout out to them. Yeah.
Word.
There's a whole community on it.
But there's a community around everything. There is something for everybody. There are people, as long as I say whatever it is that you're into, be proud of that and go for it. As long as it's nothing that's hurting anybody,
involuntarily.
They have to agree to the pain. They have to agree. They have to like the pain. But as long as everybody participating is consenting and willing to communicate that consent, go for it.
Yeah.
do all the things. Great.
That is very interesting. Very, very.
Mm-hmm.
How would I know my limits if I've never done anything?
There's a BDSM test.
Wow.
Oh, I think I took that. I was as green as they came.
Yeah,
that's okay.
She was vanilla.
But that's the thing. But that's okay though. Like if you're vanilla, cool. Not everybody has to be all these different sprinkles and flavors.
Like I'm missing out. Like it's not like it's almost like vanilla shaming.
No. There's no okay. Being vanilla is fine. If what you like is vanilla, great. If you want to try some new stuff. So when you took the test, like there are certain things down the line, like under vanilla and everything else, that'll kind of give you an idea of like what you might be into. So you might be vanilla, but you also might like impact play a little bit. So you might like being spanked or whatever. You just start from there. You just try out different things.
I do like a victimy role.
Mm.
You're like, okay, cool. So that sounds like you're a little bit more submissive then.
Yeah,
she's 1,000%.
I'm thinking about like the times that I have stepped out. It has always been me not having to do anything, like tied to the bed, hands and feet. Like that just means I can't move. So
that's not vanilla. That's what I'm saying. That's the only
thing that I feel like I would do.
That's okay. You don't listen. Like I said, you don't have to be into all these things to enjoy sex or to be like cool. Like there's no like, oh man, this person is really good at sex, so they have like 100 different kinks and fetishes. It's like, no, whatever it is that you like and you're into, great. And if you want to explore some stuff, start putting in little additives here and there, trying some stuff. Then
can I add the disclaimer, because I also want to put it out there, like you said, just because there's a lot of people that know or are into a lot of good are into a lot of kinks doesn't mean they're good even at those kinks. So like I've had people trying to solicit me because they're newly into BDSM, and they want to spank me and make me a pet, and I'm like, you haven't even done studying yet.
You don't even know why you're spanking me.
Exactly. Like, there's a science to this stuff. Like, no.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, but continue.
There is no, but it's true though. It's not something that you just jump into, especially if you're gonna do it. Like, I mean, I kind of put the practice on hold, although it's like, if I get a good client, then okay, great. And again, disclaimer, it's not sex for money. It's it's paying for someone's time and attention and things like that. So there's a whole difference. But when you get into BDSM, there are some things that fundamentally you have to understand. Like, it's not something where you just, first of all, don't take cues from 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, that's not it.
Thank you.
That's not it.
Not
the book, not the movie. None of them.
I finally see the movie, and I was like, "Is this the hogwash that they're feeding?"
No, that's not it. So, first of all, in the kink community, or in the community in general, there's safety. So the main tenets are safe, sane, and consensual. That's where you want to start with everything that you do. And you do want to be educated on whatever it is that you're into. Mm-hmm. So if you figure out what your kinks and fetishes are, like, honestly, that basic BDSM test is like a really good place to start, because you answer the questions truthfully and you get your results, but on the side, it'll tell you like what that particular fetish is, or what that particular practice or identity is. And you can explore it, do some research, figure out what it's all about. But there are a lot of things that go into the practices. Yeah, you really, honestly, before getting into it, you really should research it. So BDSM stands for bondage and discipline, dominance, submission, sadism, masochism. So all those components of it. Underneath all those umbrellas, there are more practices that go into it. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you have to know what you're doing. You can mess around and hurt somebody. You can literally kill somebody if you jump into it.
Literally kill someone by giving them pleasure.
Or pain.
Or pain. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes getting pleasured. Thought I was gonna die.
That's a different kind. That's a different kind. That's that. Listen, I too have come to tears before, but I wasn't sad. But it's like, it's different. So, for example, like impact play. So I've mentioned impact play, which is like the spanking, the paddling, the whips, and all that. If you mess around and hit somebody like in the back too low, mess around, hit their kidneys and cause a bleed, guess what? Or if you tie someone
up. Fuck that.
Right. There are cases where somebody has accidentally killed a person because they didn't follow certain precautions, like they had tied somebody up, didn't have anything, right. didn't tie them right, or didn't have safety scissors, or they have like a heart attack and they can't get them out of the position and give them CPR, the person dies. Then it's like, okay, now you're kind of at fault here. Or taking certain drugs before you get into scene, which is like, you're both in the headspace of dominant, submissive, or whatever role you're playing. You get into headspace, and if you taking a drug or something, and that person either ODs or the drug interferes with the state that they're in, then they can't communicate properly what's going on with them, which is why safe words are a thing. Then it's like, it causes a whole problem, and you do not want that. So it's like, going into it, you read up on it. You start simple, figure out what you like. If you like being tied up, all right, start with the basic set. Don't get the like super advanced joint where you got to be cut out of it if something goes wrong.
Just get some handcuffs for a second.
Get the handcuffs get the handcuffs with the safety thing on it.
Yeah.
Don't get the advanced ones. Right, Velcro or something. Right. Like, there are so many things. No. And then you should be like, no, I'm sick of it. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it.
I just hate your acting skills. I hate your acting skills.
Don't tie me up to the bed.
No, don't. You're like, no, don't put my leg up.
That is me all day long. I'm horrendous. I'd be so playing hard to get. No, you will not get any sex from me at all.
The leg goes up. I love it. But that's the fun. The fun of the no. That's really a yes.
What are some cool safe words?
Well, I tend to
Me and
use
my
safe words.
Oh, not together.
Huh?
Me and my sister, but not together. Like we have a we have a word when we see danger, we say muskrat.
Oh, muskrat.
Yeah. So like if we see an ex-boyfriend that we don't want, muskrat. Hey,
Muskrat.
Hey, muskrat.
Right.
it's time.
Pumpernickel. Someone just put that in the comments. I like that.
That's a good one.
Pumpernickel.
I mean, it's whatever you want to come up with, but I tend to do things where it doesn't sound, it's multisyllabic, so you know that the person's like, they're not saying yes, they're not saying no, they're not saying harder, they're saying cinnamon, like, or whatever it is. So you're like, oh, there's nothing
so
cinnamon
no
about this.
nigga is not a valid safe word.
No.
No,
it's gotta
nigga,
be
stop.
something.
That's
It's
not
gotta
good.
be something that has nothing to do with anything.
All right,
Pineapples.
okay.
There you go. See that?
Okay.
Do you guys when you are engaged in sexual activities, do you have a safe word?
I don't think I've ever really had to use a safe word. Because I'm very respectful.
No, you're not. Sorry.
Partners.
No,
even
you're not.
though I'm a degrader, I'm still doing it in a respectful
Is that a form
way.
of BDSM, a degrader? That's a category.
I'm a degrader.
Is it respectful if the guy's not expecting it to happen and he just gets beat up?
He didn't get beat up. I slapped him. He slapped me right back. Like,
if you're both consenting to
it's so normal.
I was just talking to him about this the other day. Like, it wasn't even a thing. It's not like we got into a slap fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got mine off, you got yours off. We're good. Now let's go back to what we was trying to do, right? So it wasn't even that.
Now, okay. Now it has to be something. You can't just come out and this is what I tell people all the time. You cannot surprise somebody in the middle of, say, if you've never done it before, you cannot surprise a person in the middle of some stuff talking about bitch, because then that's assault.
It's literally assault.
And they're gonna be like, what's going on? You're gonna be like, oh, but that's what I'm into. They're like, but I'm not into that. Let's bring it back now. I'm putting my clothes back on because I don't trust you anymore.
Are you calculating this now, Jill? Are you calculating
this? With this particular person, I felt safe enough to feel like I could slap him.
Did they feel safe enough? Did you discuss this? But I mean, like, the fact.
To be honest with you, I don't know where that came from. Like, it wasn't something that I had done before. It literally was just kind of like, Pat, I don't know. It just happened, and I mean. I was shocked by myself, but then, like, when he slapped me right back, he slapped me back into, like, reality that, like, did I just slap him? Wait, did he just
do that? Don't do that.
Which one did you automatically?
We're more
did I
shocked
slap
over
him,
it.
or did he slap me back? You know, like,
which one hit you more? Like,
which one did you think?
I was more shocked at my slapping him because, like, that literally was not that's not a practice of mine, right? Like, I don't be out here. So it really did catch me off guard. So, like, that's why when he slapped me back, I wasn't even tripping because it was kind of like, you got that, right?
You're right.
You can't just go around slapping people. Like, you got that.
That's so grown up, you know.
That's adult. That's so adult.
I had no defense at that point, right? Like, I couldn't get mad and trip and be like, "Yo, how you going?"
Nope. I shouldn't be laughing at this.
I shouldn't put my hands on you.
It's real.
I was taught to defend myself, so and we're good.
It was completely reflex. Yeah, I understood his reflex, and
you got that.
in the slapping of each, was there a pause at the moment, or was it just like slap, keep going? Was there a slap, the fuck, and then keep going?
It was like slap.
But his reflexes was strong as fuck. Like, it was immediate. It was no time to think. It was no down.
Like, it was completely reflexive. It was like slap, and like, what's happening?
What is this?
Because for him, he's like, no one's ever slapped me before. And for me, he's like, I've never slapped anyone before. What's happening right now?
I tried to slap one time and like literally felt remorse like immediately afterwards. Like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I can't do it. I can't. I can choke, I can bite, I can do all of that. But something about slapping. I feel like that's like now we gotta fight. Now we gotta
slapping
fight.
seems not a crime of passion, you know. Choking and biting seems more passionate. It's more intimate. Slapping seems really kind of like.
Now the fact that I might be low key extra submissive, there is a certain level of smacking that can be done to me where I don't get offended and feel the need to slap back.
In the face or
in the
like,
face. In the face.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's a way that it's done. It's not like literally I'm trying to slap your face off.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's like that pet. Like yeah. It's like one of those. Like yeah.
A light slap is fine. A light expected slap is fine.
Expected is the point. Yeah, when you grab a face like that and do a little, me. Yeah, I like that.
Professional me is like consent and all this other stuff. The other part of me is like, I'm silly, so I'm imagining this.
That
I'm just imagining her getting in the moment. It's like, this dick is amazing. And then he's and then she's like, all right, bet. And then it's back to it.
Back to it. All right.
Just pick right up on that down.
Right? Oh, great.
Well, no, that's funny.
Momentum. God.
That's like it. Wait, what was it? I can't with the slapping. Not for me.
I get it.
No.
I feel like most Black girls, the initial point of a hand hitting your face is like, wait a minute, the fuck is you doing? Wait a minute. But I think once you look at the partner that you're dealing with, and if you trust them and know that they're not trying to degrade you or disrespect you, there's a level of slapping. You're like, oh, okay, that was cute or whatever. But yeah, the initial reaction always like, the fuck is you doing?
Right, but that's why it's important. Like I have these conversations from like most of the time, like sometimes even before the first date, I casually in a certain way get into the conversation of what are you into? What do you like sexually? What do you not like? And that's what your limit is. That was the other definition. Your limits are things, you have soft limits where there are things are like, not really into that, but maybe I might try it at some point. Then there are hard limits where it's like, nope, we're not doing that. People have to have limits. Whether you're in a vanilla situation or not, everybody has limits. And if somebody says they don't have any limits, run. Because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they want. They haven't taken the time to think about it.
Interesting. Jill, you have limits though.
I do.
Everybody got limits.
What would be one of them?
I mean, so like I don't want anybody like spitting in my mouth. I don't like that one.
For me.
That's a hard limit for me. And then like I don't want to bleed.
Like what kind of spit? Like if it's a sexy spit, you wouldn't like
I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. Like that's a hard limit for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not into it.
Can they spit in your vagina?
Yeah, that's fine. But like in my mouth, oh God, no. Please don't do that to me. And then like I don't want to bleed. That's weird.
Oh yeah. And no, are you okay with feces?
In what way?
In any way.
I mean, if they ask me to like, shit on them, I would do that for you. Do I want to be shat on? No.
How do you get over the stage fright and just shit on somebody? How do you do that?
Oh, some people, I'm telling you, it turns some people on. It really like I know, but like some people, it's so like in them, it's the same as they get the same rush or the same euphoric feeling as anything else, of like kissing. So it's not even any stage fright about it. Like there's some people that are like they'll go to a public bathroom and they can take a pee like nothing. But there's some people where it's like I can't do it. There are people walking in and out. So it's like everybody's different. There's some people they're like, hey, I got no problem with it. I can just go and do it right now. And then they happen to be into scat play or whatever. So it's like, all right, cool.
Scatters, skibidi bop bop.
Yeah, no.
It's not my thing, but hey, if you're into
shout out to the scatters.
Mo, what are some of your hard?
It's so funny because I'm so extreme that this hard limit is like a damn. So it's actually no, it's a soft no. It depends at what age you catch me in life. I feel like the older I get, the harder this limit is, and that's anal. Like I struggle as far as anal penetration is concerned. Every time I want to mentally And every time I'd be like, no, it's not gonna go. So maybe that's like it's a medium hard. Other than that, Jesus, I guess I'm a dangerous ass person because when I trust my partner, there's really not. Okay, you're not shitting on me. I'm sorry. So scatting is 1000%. No way, shape, or form.
There you go. She's found the
ain't
limit.
gonna be no scatting. You understand me? None of that's happening. But that's the hardest limit I can think of. Like anything that's bowel secretion, so no throwing up, none of that, nothing crazy. Like nothing crazy.
I can
like
pee
that.
on you though, right?
Yeah,
That's
I'm
fine.
with that.
Yeah,
I'm with that.
Okay.
Yeah, golden showers.
Yeah. Actually, me and my wife would do that to each other on some sick shit when we take showers with each other. Like,
Yeah.
I peed on your leg.
I feel like a lot of couples do
I
that.
don't
Though.
mind that. I just wouldn't lay down in the tub and allow someone to stand over me and pee. You know, like I think a little shower piss play is kind of.
I got you.
It's on your foot now.
Piss on me. I'm gonna get down in the shower, and I want you to piss on me. No. See, I'm the resident vanilla chocolate. I like to call it.
You're chocolate. You're a good old Harlequin. Is that Harlequin? Is that what it's called?
Damn it.
What's the name of that 3 chocolate? The 3 flavored one. Neapolitan. Where's that going with Harlequin?
For me, it would literally be all in. I've got big hard stuff.
She's vanilla with sprinkles.
Oh yeah, with vanilla with sprinkles. Jimmy.
There you go.
I've got a lot of hard stops.
Yeah.
Like I don't even swallow. Like I don't even. Yeah, no, I don't swallow, and I mean I don't spit either. That just shouldn't come here.
That's okay. You're just like, okay, when he's ready, you're like, okay, out there. Just tell me so it just...
Go away. Go away now.
All right. You're okay.
Handle that.
So you've never tasted semen ever?
I mean, I've, tasted it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
if I catch you doing a taste test.
What a tasting spoon. Like a little mini sampler spoon.
Oh my god.
But I have texture issues in general, so I can't have anything too, in my mouth.
Yeah.
Especially whitish. Like, oh my god.
You know what's weird? There are different textures, and it really depends on. I mean, just everybody's different, but sometimes diet, like the way that a person eats. Oh, there are some men where it's like I watch and see like how often are they drinking water? Like what are they putting into their body? What's their diet like? Because honestly, there are dudes that like they put so much trash in their body and their cum tastes like battery acid, and it's just like, you know what? I don't need this stress in my life. I can't date you.
I don't need this negativity.
Cool. Battery acid.
No,
the partner's diet changing. You're like, wait.
Something's different.
What did you do? What did you eat this week that wasn't okay?
I mean, if that's the case, if I'm getting flued out to shit on niggas, then
I sure will. Give me a laxative. Let's go.
Listen.
Let's get to it.
I'm still like ready to go to Dubai, and if I get flued out to Dubai, I mean, I want to make sure I got like an emergency contact so nobody mess around and like keep me, because some of them kind of. I love to travel. I'll go anywhere in the world, but I got to make sure the situation's legit. I don't care where I'm going. I'm like, okay, I'm getting flued out. Give me all the itinerary details. Who are you? Let me see an ID, like all that stuff.
Give me your mama's name. Everybody's name.
Listen, I would love to go to Dubai. I am waiting to go to Dubai because the level of money out there is a little different. Way different. Yeah, way different. It's quite sexy to me. That's one of my money is a fetish to me. That is literally one of my fetishes.
Me too.
I get turned on by money. I have an act, and it's not even like I want to go get my tits done in Miami kind of. It's like money does a thing to me.
Mm-hmm. Money makes me
earn it when I get it. When it's a man that has it, when it's like when I have my own, when I'm making my own, it's just like this is amazing.
This feels good. Oh yeah,
this is great. This is why, and again, which is why I'm picky with the men that I date, because it's like we can't be mismatched here financially. It's not happening. If you can't be like, I can't take you out here, then no, I don't want to hear no.
Do you have any hard stops?
I do.
Or are you fine? Like, what some are yours?
So my hard limits are anything with blood, needles, no race play. Um,
No race play.
Oh, that
yeah.
is the thing. That would be for me too. I'm not fucking playing with y'all.
Yeah.
Don't play with
No.
me.
Let me see. What was the other thing? I mean, those are the top ones. Soft limits, I would say, name calling. So I wouldn't mind, like, if it's somebody that I trust and I know that they respect me and all that. If they kind of have a thing of being like of calling me like a slut or something
Yeah.
during sex, it's like, okay, I have to know you like that. Like I have
Yeah.
to. It has to be
But
like
I know
I
you
have
don't
to
really
know where
mean
your
it.
headspace is,
Yeah.
right? Because then it's like this doesn't feel really good. Then my dom side will come out and be like, "Who are you talking to?"
Actually, you're a bitch, and I'm gonna make you one right now.
One.
No. And then like bodily fluids. So I don't like we talked about earlier, like fluid bonding. So I don't have sex with anybody unprotected unless they're like a partner or whatever. And then like the scat and stuff like that. Like I'll pee on somebody. I haven't had anybody request that I pee on them. Although we started getting to that point, but we like stopped talking after a while. But I'm open to it, but I don't like feces on me. I don't like pee. Like I have a cleanliness thing. Like I don't like filth. So I'm just like, but but at the same time though, I'll give anal, no problem. And if there's like a little mess, then I'm like,
That's part of
it
the
comes
game.
with this, right? It's right. It's
That's
part of the keep some wet wipes by the bed. You're all right. Like just keep it up.
You knew what it was when you signed
Keep
up,
it
right?
exactly. Like keep some tools by the bed, and get a little, or even like that fresh towel. Wipe up. Have the person maybe go and do like a little quick cleanup, little quick extra enema thingy if that's really a big deal, and keep the party going. Put the towel down. You're good. But actual little shitting on somebody, no, not on me. No, we're not.
No.
We're not. No, ma'am. No,
There's
sir.
nothing in my body that goes ooh about that.
My body would even let me shit in front of somebody. Like I am,
Yeah.
like what you described, bathroom. Like
Yeah.
if it's like a one stall bathroom somewhere, I'm not going. If it's many stalls, I can probably hide somewhere and go if I have
And
to.
get it out.
But if it's just like a one stall, it's gonna die in me, and I'm gonna rot from the inside out. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I definitely get stage fright when it comes to shitting in front of people. That's why I'm like, I don't know how you can just shit on cue like that. Like, I'm just gonna shit on you. Like it's nothing. God bless them.
Which again, yeah, like I said, like I'm not
Just
gonna yuck
shit.
anybody's yum. Like there are people that are into it, and I'm like, I mean, psychologically, like I can, my empathy is really good, so I can see why people like the things that they like, and I'm like, yes. Like if a client tells me they're into scat, I'm like, all right,
Live it
go
up.
ahead,
Get
do
it.
it.
Doobity
Do
bebop.
the
Go
thing.
on.
Friggin' yes, I'll give them all kinds of tips how to stay safe and keep it, but it's just not for me, like so it's just, like I said, everybody got different things. It's fine.
I was gonna say, I think that's the basic theme. As long as you understand that and respect everybody else's situation, just because it's not for you doesn't mean that it's a problem or it's wrong. It's just not for you. That's it.
Yeah, don't
Right.
yuck somebody's sexual yum. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Speaking of yuck and yum, I don't. But do you guys spit or swallow?
I do both.
It
It depends on who I fuck with.
Depends on the
Who I
person.
fuck with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a
It's called
nifty
battery
trick.
acid, right.
There's a nifty trick that if you want to act like you're swallowing, but you're actually just spitting on it, and you guys have probably already done it, where if he comes and you hold it in your mouth and you spit it back out as you're still
Let it
and then just let it drip right back on out, and they never even know what happened.
Use it like lube.
Yeah. Use this shit as lube.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. So like when they buzz, you just go while you still just put it right back on there. Thank you. You can have that back. Enjoy.
Yeah. Or like use the suction noise while your mouth is open and let it fall out. And then like you said, you use whatever comes out to stroke and use it like a lube. And then they won't care. They won't be paying attention to whether or not you're swallowing when you're doing the stroking action while they're losing their entire
they
life.
don't give a shit.
They're sucking their soul out of their body. Like they don't care.
Mm-hmm. Hot sauce is not for idiots.
Speaking of yucking somebody's yum.
Okay.
It's so entertaining. It's so interesting. But in my head, I'm like,
because that's the thing. Like you don't like the texture of it, and that's totally fine. But it's funny though how the texture is different. Like some of it's watery, some of it's like chunky, some of it's like.
I literally had I had one guy. He would come and I wouldn't even know he came. I'm like, you did? I didn't even taste anything. What happened?
Yeah. Some of them it's a lot, or some of them it's just like little pearls that come out. You know, you're just like, oh, all right. But some of there are some where it's just like, when's it gonna stop?
I don't want that. I don't want that one.
That's
You're just like
probability. Oh my god!
I don't want that guy. I don't want that one.
Just like some women can squirt, some or should I say some vulvas can squirt, some penises can squirt. It's amazing.
Wow, this is so fascinating. All of this,
just stuff everywhere.
Oh my God.
What is on, Jill? What is on or off the table?
Let's figure that part out.
Oh, period sex. Is that on or off the table?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
I had a friend reach out to me earlier this week and she was like, hey, I'm on my period. This dude is wanting to come eat my pussy. And she's like, I've never really like done the whole head during period thing.
Yeah.
What should I say? I'm not the right person to ask
He
because
wanted to eat it while he
like he was just like, I ain't no punk, basically. Like, I don't give a fuck what's going on down there. I'm coming to do some work. I don't care what you got going on. I'm gonna still do the work that I came there to do. And so
I had one guy, he was like, I was like, yeah, I was on my period. He was like, you got a clit though. And I'm like,
yeah, he's like, the clit don't bleed.
He said, okay, it's gonna taste like pennies for a couple minutes, but it's all right. You know, we're just gonna get in there and make it work. But all you really gotta do is put a cup in.
True.
Oh, my sister was telling me about this cup situation.
Put the cup in the shower. You put the cup in when you're in the shower, take a shower. It's like nothing ever happened. And you can have penetrative sex.
I put it in wrong.
Practice like like any other time when you're not about to have period sex. Practice like if your cycle's coming, practice using the cup.
It's pretty easy though. They literally, I know I used to use the Diva cup. And like literally it's like a flexible circle ring that you just kind of stick up there and it automatically will just swoop up to your cervix. So it's not even much that you really have to do just to make sure to place it up there enough where it'll do its work for itself. It's almost like a tampon.
It's like I feel like it's like your contacts when you're putting in your contacts and something might flip around, so it's in there all backwards. Backwards, periods on, pregnant, all of the things. So I get nervous.
Well, at least you know if a cup is put in wrong, you've got blood coming out. So then you know there's a problem. You know what I mean? Because usually if the cup if it's right on the cervix and you won't see any blood. So if it's done wrong and you're still leaking, that means you got to go up in there and figure out what the hell is going on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had a bad cup moment. I had a bad cup moment, boy. I thought that joint was in there secure. And it was like my first time using it, like during a work day. And it was like towards the end of the work day, that shit was overflowing.
Oh no.
Yeah. Trying to empty that out. Have fun with that.
No, like I literally was leaking on a chair.
That happened to me.
Mortified.
That was the first
cute
time
that day too. I had on the cutest dress. I was so fucking cute. That shit was all over the dress. I was like, this is not real life. That was literally the last time I wore the Diva cup outside.
Yeah, that was I again. I knew. I was like, I was wearing pants. Matter of fact, I went out for a walk, and this is when I was like, early in the game, trying out the cups. This is probably like the second time I'd ever worn one, and I guess I put it in wrong because I'm all confident walking around the track at a field. I'm like, yeah. Then I'm like, something don't feel right. I looked down, and them pants, boy, they were a whole new color. I was like, no. So I'm like, but luckily I was able to like walk a certain way so nobody could really see it. Like, oh man, I got to go get back in the car.
That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
That is sucks.
I mean, it's like, yeah, we all get periods, whatever. But it's for me, it was a discomfort too, because I was just like, I gotta sit on this in the car. I had to put paper down. I'll save the detail, but it was just
just way too much.
I wish periods would go away. I mean, unless you're like having a pregnancy scare, then it's like something. Then you can't wait for your period.
Listen, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Then you're just like, that's some of the scariest thing you ever had in your life when your cycle's late and you're like, wait a minute, no. And you're,
Yeah, so I'm a woman that suffers from PCOS. Well, I don't want to say suffer. I deal with PCOS. So every month is that for me. Like every month,
Yeah.
if I'm one day late, it's like, oh God, do I have to make the call? Who do I need to call? Let me trace back. Who was the last couple? Oh no, it's not that. Okay, do I need to set a doctor's appointment? Like every month, literally every month.
And nobody wants to go through that aggravation of having to think about it, have to make choices. You got to call. Yeah, I don't need that.
Exactly.
No.
What I missed.
You're so angry.
We were talking about
Diva
talking about misplaced cups, basically.
See, it get lost.
No,
it
just how like you put
overflowed.
it in wrong. Like if it overflows or you put it in wrong and it doesn't fit. Like I was talking about one of the first couple times I tried it. The first time I was like, okay, this works. But the second time I think I put it in wrong and it just like was not working at all. It just turned into. But now it's fine. Like now it's like nothing. Like you have no idea you're even on a cycle anymore because it's in there pretty good. Until like it gets to a certain point, you're like, all right, I gotta go change it or something.
I gotta change it. Yeah.
How often to change those things?
Depends on how heavy.
Yes,
so there are some days, there's some days where you're changing it every 3 hours. There's some where you're changing it every 5. There's some that you can wear it like 8 hours and nothing happens, and you go and you're like, oh, okay, let me just go empty this and take a shower. I'm good to go. So it really it's like you kind of have to wear it and figure out what works for you. You know what I mean? It's kind of trial and error. So at the very least, just wear like a panty liner or a pad when you have it in there and go about your day. And if you feel that like, I feel something leaking, then you can kind of gauge it from there. It's a little bit of trial and error, but for the most part, they're really, really efficient.
Now,
leaking.
I just want to know, because we really just switched gears. I really want to get into these Diva cups because I've seen like the disposable ones, but then I've also seen the reusable ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with the reusable ones, do you just dump and throw back in, or you dump, wash out, throw back in? Like, how does that work?
You can do that with both of them. So you can dump and wash for so the reusable ones are made of silicone. The other ones that are like disposable, you can wear them up to a week, but then toss them out after that. Those are like the plastic. They have like they're a little wider. They have like a wide rim like that you just kind of fold it and put it inside.
That's the one I'm used to using.
Yeah, so they have like the harder plastic on the outside, and then they have like a plastic kind of
cup,
almost like it's like a plastic cup, but it's almost like it's hard. It's it's like a basin, but like what's the material? It's like
utensils if you order to go utensils.
So like
that plastic is on the bottom.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, but it's softer. So you take that, you put it in there, and it catches all that, and then throughout the day you go change, you rinse it out, and put it back in. But the silicone one, just like a bell shape, and you fold it and pop it in there, and it goes up and it stays in there for a while, and it has like a little tag where you can pull it out, and it has more of a suction too. So you put it in there, it's like right up in there, and then so it kind of creates a seal, so it's less leakage. And then you're ready to pull it out. You can just pinch the bottom of the cup or just pull the string, and it comes right out. But just make sure you're doing it properly, because if you yank it out, it's gonna
explode everywhere, and that's not fun.
You'll need a murder scene. You're all set.
That's no point.
No.
Shout out to women. Somebody coming on. We got to deal with. We have to deal with so much shit.
No, like I've learned so much. I feel like I've been in school, because I'm so like like I feel so I'm gonna go out and explore my options.
Yay.
I'm not, but like
do it.
But like what? Okay, did I ever ask you guys this before? Like, what's your favorite position? I feel like I have, but I don't remember what you said.
I'll start. As crazy and freaky as I am, missionary is actually my favorite.
Yeah.
Because there's that level. Because I'm like emotionally turned on more than anything. Like that interaction, the kissing, the looking in each other's eyes, the talking to each other, that level of intimacy that happens with missionary, top notch. Oh,
I had to learn this looking in the eye thing.
At
first, I thought it was very creepy. Like, nigga,
would you be up here staring like?
Right.
What is
like? This is actually very intimate.
Sheesh. But then later on, after things got a little bit more along the way, then I would be interested in looking in the eye. Like, wow.
I want to know what you're. I'm trying to see your soul right now. I'm trying to see your soul.
That's bonding.
You know what though? I like when it's aggressive though. When they like look at me and I'm like, yeah.
Don't grab me on my
tell
neck and tell me to look at you. Jesus, I'm squirting. That's me.
Listen,
that's a squirt.
I like a nice. A lot of people are scared to do the whole neck thing, and I'm like, no, I like a nice firm.
I like a
situation
from the back too. Wow,
that's lit too.
Good. Yes,
that absolutely. Like just like a nice pressure. Some are. I mean, rightfully so. Some people are like, I don't want to choke you and hurt you because if you do it wrong, you can crush the windpipe. Next thing you know, you're doing CPR. It's not fun. So it's like, you gotta put the right amount of pressure. It's more so around the sides here.
It's more so like a hold instead of just a hold.
I'm about to get all of y'all because I know all of y'all will fall weak at this moment when they choke you while tonguing you down.
Well,
that's a whole nother level right there.
Very, very.
I'm passing out. Like my knees go immediately weak at that moment. Like I'm dead. Take me now. Go ahead and take me.
Yeah.
She died by the dick.
I didn't even make it to the dick. Just a kiss and a choke. That's all you did.
That's it. That's all you need.
That's because y'all love toxic love.
No, I don't. I'm all set. I don't like toxic. Turns me off instantly. Like there's certain red flags that I see where I'm just like, whoop, Sahara Desert, I'm done. I can't do it. Like I'm all set. Like I don't need you to because I'm like, I see the element. I like my life as it is now. I like being healthy. I like emotional nourishment and all that from my partners. As soon as I see certain things, I'm just like, you're gonna ruin my situation, and I don't like that. You're gonna fuck up. You're gonna fuck up the church's money.
You're gonna fuck with my peeps here, and I don't.
You're gonna throw off the pH or something. I can't do it.
Oh,
I can't
throw off the pH
ass nigga.
Sticking it in everybody or don't wash right. Just
dirty dick ass.
Nasty. That's what they are. Just nasty. Just pH ass nigga.
And it's one thing to like, okay, it's one thing to have multiple partners. That's not what I'm like. That's fine as long as you doing it right. But if you're just like indiscriminately poking people unprotected, you don't know them, you're just like, yeah, shorty bad. I'm gonna just come on, man, and then just gonna come back to me and try to no. Because I tell all my partners, like, if I'm like, listen, we are unprotected right now, okay? When you decide you're gonna have sex with somebody else unprotected, tell me. I'll do the very same thing. Like, I'll give you the choice and say, like, listen, this is other person that I'm introducing into my life if I even make that choice. I want to let you know so that you can decide whether or not you want to continue our sexual relationship as such. If they say yes, all right, cool. I give them all the information they need. But if somebody comes to me out of nowhere and be like, oh yeah, by the way, I had unprotected sex with 3 people last week. Just thought I'd tell you now. No.
You don't care about my body.
Let me know that type of
information beforehand. That is a fight. That's automatic. But it's like little things like from the beginning, you can kind of tell like the way that somebody carries themselves, especially like the first time you go to have sex with somebody and they don't even talk about a condom. They just like, oh, well, you know, it depends on how a person carries themselves. No.
Carries themselves. I could present really well walking with a crotch full of fucking incurable shit.
Exactly. And sometimes it has nothing to do with the amount of partners. You can have one partner you trust and get an STI. And it happens. It's like catching a cold and stuff. I mean, it could be more dangerous, of course, but it's like there's nothing to be ashamed of it. But the lack of care or the lack of consideration that's given. So somebody's like, oh yeah, you know, I'm careful about my partners. It, you know, it depends on, you know, how that whole, like I said, how they carry themselves. And I'm like, yeah, they might carry themselves well, and they might even think that they're being careful, but their partner might not be careful, or their other partner, that chain down the line. Right. So that chain down the line may not be, everybody has slip-ups. Like things happen. Like they're asymptomatic STIs where it's like you can go weeks and not feel anything. Like syphilis, for example, you could feel nothing. You can get a small something, boil or something. It doesn't even hurt. But it'll show up somewhere, it'll heal, it'll go away. But you got syphilis. And then 20 years down the line, 20 years down the line, you're like, why am I going blind now? Or like, why is this happening to me? And it's like, oh, because you got syphilis. Your body's breaking down now. You're getting rashes everywhere.
You're dying.
So it has nothing. Like there are people, Right, like they're legit people, and it's like thankfully it's cure. It's something that you can cure. But there are people, legit, like older people that like go to the hospital and they're like, we don't know why Nana's sick and all this other stuff. It's like, oh, Nana got syphilis
Nana was talking
because
about
like
them.
Nana was getting it in. But like, and it's like, but
Sorry.
she, even if it was a partner or whatever, people do what they do. But then like she had no idea. She would have gotten it treated, if she knew. But but she didn't know. And then years later it pops up. So it has no bearing on like, how a person carries themselves or all that other.
Yeah. So all that
Like,
to say, Black
that's
people, get tested, yo. Stop
It's
trying to
on a
rely
regular basis.
on a regular basis. Stop trying to rely on what you think could be looking good or looking clean. Get tested. It doesn't really take much. There's ways that you can get tested for free, same day. Like, there's literally no excuse. There's no excuse. Just get tested, please.
Right. Just nasty.
And a positive result is nothing to be ashamed of either.
No.
Like I think a lot of it's tied to the idea that sex is this shameful thing. Oh, you did something bad and now you're being punished for it. Like, no, it's the same way we can catch a cold, catch gonorrhea, but it's just you happen to be doing.
It was just the way you said it that made me die. The way you said
you
it.
happen to be, instead of touching hands, you touch wieners. It's a difference. It's like
You touch private part. Fine.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
That's really all it is. It's like, and it's so it's like we have to stop shaming each other for these things that happen and calling each other dirty or whatever. It's like stuff happens. Like, just you go, you get it taken care of, you take your round of pills, all the pills. Like, if you get prescribed, look at me, people. If you get prescribed, okay, your round of medication, take the whole thing, because guess what happens if you don't? The drugs become the bacteria becomes resistant, and then it's a lot harder. Then you got these super bugs. Like, there's like a super strain of gonorrhea, I think now, that doesn't respond to medication. Why? Because
super gonorrhea.
Yeah, there's a super gonorrhea. I have heard about it.
Yeah. Because it got smart. But that's what viruses and bacteria, like, they get smart over time. It's how they survive. It's just like they're like, okay, there's this thing over here.
Me with? Let me combat that.
Well, my next round, when we replicate, the next round, you can't wait to see this next round of us. We're gonna be stronger. We're gonna put them through boot camp. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh snap, we can't really. This person's had gonorrhea for 3 months now. We've been treating it. That's what. So take the full round of the medication they're giving you, because it's giving you that for a reason. And be careful. Don't just have sex with every single person unprotected all the time. Like, nothing wrong. I mean, unprotected sex feels great, but just
let's put that out there. It does feel great. We're not acknowledging. I mean, we are acknowledging that it feels awesome.
Sure does.
That doesn't mean everybody gets that. Everybody can't get it.
If you would like more information about what Taja does and about Satin Kiss and everything like that, tell us about your life, where we can find you all the time. Because that time went by dumb fast.
I know, it's crazy.
It did.
Shit, I was getting my.
I was getting all the education, honey.
I am down to do this again.
We'll definitely have you back. We'll have you back as you're now a resident sexologist
for sure.
Yes. Yeah, I'm down to it. Okay, so where y'all can find me? Okay, so the website is satinkiss.me. The Instagram is the same thing, satinkiss.me. Also on Twitter, satinkissme, so there's no dot in there. I started a TikTok. I'm going to be putting more stuff on there. Also have a YouTube channel. So if you go to, so I'm going to be putting a lot of content on there too. The last thing I put up there was an Anal Sex 101 series. So there's that. I have like a bunch of stuff coming, talking about like Kegels and the different tools you can use and all kinds of different products and stuff like that. So if you go to, so it's like this long address, but I shortened it. So tinyurl.com/satinkisstube. So that'll take you to the YouTube channel. But everything is on the website and on social media. So in any case, like, if you want to find me, if you want to contact me, I'm going to be the one answering all the DMs, all of the emails, everything, the phone, all of that stuff. So no such thing as TMI, no such thing as a stupid question. I'm down for all of it. We have the same kind of conversations, or I have the same kind of conversation with my clients as I do, like, here. I cater it to everybody. I meet everybody where they are, but that's where you can find me.
Absolutely. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. all
Thank
the
you.
free game and free gems and gems that you dropped on us today. We'll definitely have you back when we have these pressing questions because sometimes we be going at it. So we'll definitely thank you so much for all of your help and just congratulations in general to your success
Thank you.
as you keep growing and your awards and accolades and all kinds of great stuff. So keep doing what you're doing. You're fucking awesome.
Y'all are awesome. This was so much fun. Thank you. This is dope.
Thank you.
Like Black women, y'all, like every time I get around y'all, my fellow Black men, I'm like, yes.
We
all
so
the cool
dope,
stuff that
right?
happens.
We
Yes.
so dope.
That's magic.
Yes. I love
Mo,
it,
take
and I
us
love
out.
the show too. So I'll continue to watch. Also, y'all be having some people on here. I'm like, man, y'all be talking all kinds of shit. I love
You know
it.
that's
So
what we do.
Jill, introduce. Well, you.
Tell them where they can find you, Jill.
Here we go.
You could find me with Satin Kiss, literally watching people do shit. And
not
if you're
invited yet.
no,
we didn't even talk about play parties.
Understudy? No.
I'm just trying to
You know
learn.
what?
She could be a sex play toy studies.
When play parties are a thing again after Corona,
assistant.
I am so down because when I tell you the people like I that's what I used to do. Like I used to bring like I have like this social group of Black people in Boston where it's like they were I wanted to either get into the kink community or the lifestyle or just the alternative sex lifestyle, and we would go to play parties as a group. I would go to these things and I'm like, why does it feel like a chocolate chip cookie? There's like mad white people and like one or two Black people in here. So I was like, nah, we're gonna go in there. We're just gonna bum rush them with melanin. And it was just amazing because I know we're out here, we're into a bunch of stuff, but we would go to places like what is it? Rhode Island Playground was one of my favorite spots. Playground, yes, so yeah, you know about the third floor then. Yes,
yes,
so if you want to go,
third floor.
huh?
What be happening on the third floor?
Girl, that's a whole nother episode, girl.
Oh, okay. We'll say that. We'll say that for the next. We'll say that for part B. That's
a whole other episode.
I insist on a part B because yes, there's some things that would need to be talked about. What goes down at play parties, how to navigate them and enjoy yourself. And if you do want to be watched, if you don't want to be watched, like it, yes.
Oh, we got to talk.
Indeed.
We can find you.
So soon you'll be able to find me at these play parties, but for now you can find me at Jill_Badu on the Instagram. And you can find me Ms. Mophila MZMOPHILA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also follow my podcast, Let's Get Naked, LEZGET and KED on Instagram and Twitter with an underscore and without one on Facebook. And every single Sunday, except for this one, because I'm in Brooklyn, you can catch me 9 to 11 p.m. on 88.5 FM Sultry Sundays alongside my bro, DJ Dex. And let them know where they can find you. Hot sauce. Yeah, we do it that way.
My name is and you can find me across all social media. Miss Hot Sauce to you. And you can also find this wonderful podcast, Henny and Hotwings, across all social media platforms and on all of your listening devices. Also, make sure you join our official discussion group. It's called Tell Me Everything Henny and Hotwings. And make sure that you guys are telling a friend. When you guys see these episodes, share it. Tell people to follow us on the Instagram and stuff like that. All of that. Tasha will be spreading the issue so you guys know what's going on and everything like that. And you can look for her on more episodes of Henny and Hotwings as our resident sexologist.
For sure.
Yay. Let me know.
And yes, SparkFMOnline.com. Go listen. We are out here. Got a lot of stuff going on. It's officially our anniversary on Tuesday.
Okay.
Hey.
420, baby. 420.
Oh, yeah, that's right. 420, baby.
Spark it up. 420.
Are we doing another Spark? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. After the show, we'll talk about that. Sorry.
We ain't. I'm tired.
Yeah.
And with that said, everybody, we are officially out of here. Shout out to the Hot Wings who hung on all night. I saw you guys. You guys are absolutely dope. And we'll talk to you later.
Love it.